but
What, Jen?
but I'm done otherwise.
Okay.
You bought me a present? Why, thank you.
I did. You're very welcome. You will love it.
We're live. Good morning.
All right. Enough of these side conversations. Let's all say good morning. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning, FinTech monster.
Good morning.
Good morning.
FinTechsters and Nutrimonsters.
Oh, oops, sorry. I knew I stopped myself because I was wrong.
FinTech Monsters is not
FinTech
good.
monsters.
That's
and
why I stopped myself.
No, that's not what we're about.
No.
All right. So good morning to everyone who's joining us. Good morning to everybody who's going to be watching us later. That's most people because we go on at this odd time, 9:30.
Yeah.
We have a good morning from the newly married Elizabeth Golden says good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
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 Elizabeth, it's not too late to get an annulment.
Love, come on.
Speaking of,
Jen's looking at me.
I am.
No, Mazel Tov. It's a very good thing.
Spoken like a true bachelor. Run!
Run, Forrest, run.
Listen, let's get started. Again, we're going to have another fun time today of inspiration and hopefully some entertainment and some thought-provoking content. So let's get going. Jennifer, let me hand it over to you. For our testimonial of the week.
I have to get the testimonials. Shoot.
Oh, for the love of God. You had one job, Jen.
No, I have
Well,
two.
we're very busy about other things this morning.
Yeah,
we got our minds going.
No. We were handling things. Let Jackie do her recipe.
Yes, we'll reverse the order. Okay. In that case, Jackie has a recipe for us today. But now she forgot her recipe. Okay.
No, I have my recipe. I'm working off my laptop also. Hold on.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Peace out.
It was fun while it lasted. Thea is so discouraged. She's not even paying attention to us.
No, I haven't.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay, good.
You know what? Mine's opening. I apologize.
All right.
okay.
Yeah, we're going to have to handle that next time.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I got everything else, but I was too busy. I was too busy getting my Be Merry mug because I am getting ready for Christmas.
Oh, very nice.
Can't say she's not prepared because Jen's already done Christmas shopping.
That's right.
Fever.
Done. I have 2 gifts for Black Friday that I'm waiting for. And other than that, I am done.
Well, I've done Christmas shopping for this year and through 2023. Thank you very much.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you get? First of all, it scared me.
All right, Jen, let's go.
All right. So this is from Carol, and she says, I feel fantastic. And of course, look great. I can't believe I've finally reached this milestone. During these 4 months, I have adjusted how I eat and what I eat. It's become second nature. I can't get enough of the compliments. Definitely makes me feel amazing. I love the one-on-one I got, and I'm able to stick with the program.
Wow.
That's a good one.
Carol lost how much weight? About 50 pounds?
Thea, you coach Carol?
I think she lost 30.
30 pounds.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like 50. I mean, she looks like a brand new person.
Yeah.
How much fat did she lose? She probably
All of it.
I have to look at a
All
chart.
of it.
Yeah.
She looks really, really good. She's one of those people that walks in every week. Like we have a lot of people that walk in, but she's really one of the people we walk in and we're like, oh my God, because the changes are so evident from week to week.
And another thing that I like, whether it's Carol or Lizzie in Cranford, they walk in, their hair's done differently. I mean, everything's changing. They're wearing form-fitting clothes, right?
Their skin is glowing.
Their step.
Yeah, it's confidence. We talked about that, I think, once before.
They end up just playing a different game altogether.
Yeah, it's cool.
All right, good. Let's move on to Jackie. Jackie, do you have a good recipe this week?
I do.
Okay, what is the country of origin?
Okay.
USA.
Gallery.
All right. What do you have?
Appropriate for Taco Tuesday. I'm leaving it at that. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to send out both versions of this, program approved and post program. They're both clean regardless, but it's really good. And hold on to the marinade because the marinade can be used for all types of proteins. So this is sheet pan chipotle portobello tacos.
Okay.
I love these. So it's two. This is the post-program approved version first for everybody who's listening. 2 extra large portobello mushrooms, 1 red bell pepper, sweet onion, avocado, and cauliflower tortillas. I do have a recipe for homemade cauliflower tortillas. It is a little time consuming, but honestly, I omit it. I chop everything and make it into one big salad, to be honest.
Well, just to interrupt for a second, they have cassava and almond flour tortillas in Whole Foods that they
Oh,
sell.
really? Do you know the brand?
SIETA. I don't know how to pronounce that, but
Oh, Sete.
Sete.
I've seen that the logo before with the circle with the pink. Okay. Yep. I'll find a picture of it, guys, and I'll post it. The marinade, which is like the key to all, it's 1 tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, chipotle seasoning, or you can even use smoked paprika, which is really good. Minced garlic, cumin, coriander, our pink salts, and that's it. Super easy, super simple. And I actually toss in some fresh red pepper on top of it. It's amazing. You literally just do the toss, you marinate the portobello mushrooms in it, you put it on a sheet pan, and you bake it. Super simple. If you're on program, you would omit the extra virgin olive oil. On your coconut oil days, you can melt down the 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, and you can mix it that way. Just make sure to don't really it'll get clumpy.
Yes, but that's if you want a coconut flavored oil.
If you do.
If not, you could use refined coconut oil. You'll still be getting the good fats that we like from coconut oil, but it doesn't have the coconut flavor.
Okay, perfect.
Right.
But I'll post this for everybody. It's so easy, and it's kind of like a prep ahead. The longer the mushrooms sit in that marinade, the better they taste.
You know, Jackie, that sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of a Mexican taco thing. I mean, just hear you describing it, I'm getting gas. So that tells you how good it is.
Well, can I tell you that when I found this recipe before I tweaked it, it does have black beans in it, and post program I can't have black beans anymore. My weight goes up.
Ah, got it.
I used to live my whole family, me and the kids. We would open up like a can of chickpeas, drain them, and just eat them. And I can't have a lot of beans anymore.
Okay, it's good that you know that.
Yeah, my weight is right up.
Can we just explain what post-program and on-program means for people who are watching that might not have ever done a program, they just love us and tune into us?
Go for
you want that from coach's perspective? So either or. So when you're on program during the detox portion, or when you're reinstituting the foods that possibly could cause inflammation, you are on program. Phase 4, when you're introducing those foods, you're allowing your body to try certain things again at the discretion of your coaches. So when you're completely done with that phase, you can then go ahead and eat foods that you can mix that you weren't able to mix before. But now there's another version of it too that Jen's gonna tell us.
So when you're on the detox portion and detox and fat burning portion, like Jackie described, it's very limited menu because we're cleaning the body out. So no oils, no fats. So that's why Jackie said you have to put the marinade. Afterwards, in the next phase, when you're reintroducing foods to see how they interact with your body, then oils are allowed. So that's why Jackie's saying post-program, on-program.
Sorry.
Just to clear up, it's no worries, just to clear up any confusion. I'm always thinking like I'm teaching 5-year-olds because I've had 5-year-olds.
But you know what I want to change? It's not limited on program. You're really not limited on program.
You're not limited.
This is tremendous. You just have to realize you're eating clean food.
Right. You're limited.
We're
not
clean.
limiting.
Yeah, and also we're just trying not to give ourselves too much to deal with at the same time. So it's very, very simple. And that's the idea when we're detoxing. We want to clean things out. There's no way to clean things out if you're eating recipes with 1,700 ingredients and processed foods.
Yeah.
So we're not going to do that. Now, speaking of processed foods, let's discuss Halloween a little bit. This is one of these holidays. I don't know who invented it. I don't know who decided to make our kids beggars and have them go out into the street and dress up and beg for food. Well, but that's what we do. That's our tradition.
Yeah.
And Jackie brought up something the other day. She said that she and her kids collected about 17,000 pounds worth of
I brought my scale down to weigh it. You want me to weigh
it? You can actually weigh it. First of all, tell it, what did you go as, Jackie?
We were a family of skeletons.
Okay. Jennifer, what were you on Halloween?
Jed.
I have a lot to handle without dressing up.
Did you trick or treat as Jen?
I was myself.
Thea, did you dress up your dog?
I did.
As what?
Michael Myers.
As Michael Myers.
Did you really?
That's
Yeah, I'll
cute.
show you a
I
picture.
want to see a
We'll
picture.
post that picture. I think I saw it. How about you, Corinne? What did you do with the little ones?
Brianna was a devil. Marissa was a Michigan cheerleader.
No, she was a state, my son said.
I would have thought that Marissa would be the devil.
Go. And
No, Halloween, you dress up, but you're not.
Ah,
Oh, look,
got it.
wait,
Gotta
Dr.
take a
Mendelstein,
break from
here we
that.
go. It's 9:00 in the morning, and my monster is, can I have this?
So
Nope.
this is the problem, and this is what we're discussing. Now, here's what Jackie brought up the other day. She said that she had a great idea for doing something positive with all of the crappy food that was collected. And her suggestion was that we collect it from everyone else. We have all of our clients bring in all of their candy and the poison that they got over Halloween, and then we redistribute it, right? Because we don't want our clients eating poison.
No, take it
But
away.
the problem with that was, do we want to then disseminate poison out to everyone else?
Right.
That's not what we stand for. Now, we had various reactions. Thea, you were against this idea completely.
hmm
Why? What was your point of view?
Well, I think that we're a wellness center, and candy coming to a wellness center is really not appropriate, or it doesn't stand behind what we believe in, what we're promoting.
But you can see the value, though, in collecting it from people, from our clients. We don't want it in their homes.
Yeah, I know, but we're giving the poison to other people. We're giving that candy to other people. We're handing out something that's not healthy to other people.
Okay. Everyone just take a minute and watch Corinne yell at her kids.
Hey, I'm trying to get them to be quiet.
No, you muted it. Good. Thank you for that.
I can't.
It's just comical to watch.
I just weighed how much candy we have.
So can you see them?
Oh, how funny
Not
is
well.
that? That's great.
I can't
That's
post
really cute.
So, Jackie, what was your point of view? Why did you think that that was a good idea? Obviously, our concern was we don't want to send mixed messages, nor do we want to send out candy to people because we know that candy and sugars function like a slow-acting poison.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm kind of on the fence, and I'll tell you why. What my initial thought was to help on the forefront, right? So our clients immediately, and I know myself, I'm guilty of this. My daughter has a peanut allergy. So we don't keep certain things in the house, but trick-or-treaters, obviously, you're always looking for the Reese's Pieces or things like that. So I know for myself that she can't have half the stuff that's in this bowl.
Wait, when you go out, you have an agenda in mind? There are certain candies that you're looking for?
Well, I just hope for it. I'm always like, Isabella, get the good stuff because that's my only opportunity.
Avoid the candy corns.
I love candy corn. I know. Although on the bag it says made with real honey.
Yeah, it's pure fructose.
It's really garbage. But anyway, I didn't eat any. I got it for a decoration for my charcuterie board, whatever you want to say. But anyway, my whole thing with it is that if I immediately remove it from my house or from our clients within their reach, you're not going to purposely do that lap around and grab one. They are all bite size. They're all super small. So it's mindless eating. So just to remove it and help them instantly while they're on program, because this will totally deter somebody.
I agree, but the conflict was, what do we then do with the candy?
Right. So
throw it out.
My thought was yes. So initially, and I'll tell you what
can't do that, Jen.
Throw it out. It's not food.
No, you're right. You're right. It's not food.
And
I absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I think
Why can't you throw it out?
my concern with throwing it away, truthfully, is
because it's wasteful. People spend money on that.
No, I'm not concerned about the money part of it. My concern of it was more so that
and then there's people that are starving.
Yeah, energetically, it's not good to throw it out.
That's what bothered me the most.
Yeah.
Because
it's not food.
It's not.
People are starving.
But listen to what I'm saying. Jen's not yelling. Look, she's yelling at somebody.
I'm not yelling.
I just yelled at Marissa.
So
this is stressful.
Over the pandemic, our school district now provides free lunch and snacks for a week to every child, whether or not they need it. And that's also, it's based upon other things. There are school districts that did not get that opportunity. We're blessed enough that we don't need those resources. So that food comes home. My kids don't eat those snacks. My kids don't eat that. And I took to Facebook. I posted on our community page asking if there was anybody that would be willing to take, sealed food that could go to somebody. And although it's not the best, they're not good choices, and my children will.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much food I've given away that I literally could cry, because I know that that's all these children had the opportunity to have, and they were able to use it. And I know it's not right, and I understand what Jen's going to say, and I agree.
Yeah.
But it's coming from a perspective where we're not in that position.
Well, let's hear from Jen herself.
Yeah, I'm trying. There are a couple things going on here. First of all, yes, there is definitely lack out there, but to give in to the mentality of there's lack, we're creating more lack. So there are a couple of ways to circumvent that. So like we eat holistically, total organic in this house. If you go through my cabinets, we live the life. When we have parties, my mother always says, why are you buying organic when we're having 50 people at the house? And my answer is, I would not put food on my table for my guests that I wouldn't serve to my family. And that's how I feel about this. We are passing along non-food items to people who are already at risk and already stressed. So there's got to be.
What do you mean by non-food items?
So there's
no nutritional value in it.
There's no nutritional value.
Jen.
There's no nutritional value there, none whatsoever. So you're giving somebody chemicals, sugar, it's bringing their immune system down. We're now perpetuating sickness, illness in an already at-risk population. So the way to handle it, and this is what I thought we should do with this stuff, is throw it away and replace it, and then donate healthy foods that will nourish the body. If we're worried about perception, if we're worried about we're throwing it away when people are starving, why would we feed starving people chemical processed stuff that's going to make them sicker?
Well, the obvious answer is it's better than nothing. And I'd like to hear from the people who are watching right now. By the way, welcome, Ona. And I'd like to hear from you. Can you see the conflict? If you're just joining us, the conflict is that on the one hand, we want to get the bad food, quote unquote food, the candy. Right. Thea, just wait, I'll get to you. We want to get the candy out of the hands of our clients. We want to get the candy ideally out of everyone's hands on the one hand. Yeah. On the other hand, what do we then do with it? If we collect it from people, well, there are two options essentially. One is to throw it all out, in which case we know that's a sin, right? We've been taught that it's a sin to throw out food. And the other option is to then give it to other people. So now we have a wellness and weight loss facility that's giving away candy, the kind of food that makes people fat and gives people heart disease and diabetes, etc. So I would love to hear your opinion, Elizabeth, Ona. This is quite a conflict, as you can hear from everybody.
So if you look,
Elizabeth said, give it to
Wait. Everyone can't speak at once. Thea was raising her hand before. So go ahead, Thea.
Okay, so I understand what Jen's saying, and it is poison, and it's not a whole food. And so my opinion is to let the clients do as they wish with their candy. They are
doing as they wish with it right now.
Their clients.
That's part of the problem.
What?
That's why they're clients, because they're doing what they wish with it, which is eating it.
So they should do whatever they want with their candy. As a wellness center, I feel like we shouldn't take on that responsibility with candy, because energetically throwing it out is just not, it's not good for us as a wellness center to throw it out energetically.
And Corinne agrees.
I agree with that, yes.
Okay.
So I think it's actually right on purpose to throw out stuff that is not healthy. I think if we remove it from this food source and supplant it with something healthier, you're crowding out something that's not good with something that is good, and you're still doing the purpose of feeding somebody who might not necessarily have a meal. If you look at it like candy's a drug, because sugar is in the opioid family, it's an opioid. So it's very addictive. It creates all sorts of problems with the body system. If we pass it along and keep it in the food chain, we are then contributing to the problem. Like we have to get past this lack mentality. If we keep lack in our lives, it's like then we perpetuate lack. If we're afraid to throw something away because of lack, we perpetuate lack. So
Well,
it's
why don't we just let them do what they want with their candy because it's on them, and
Well,
then we could donate.
Right,
No, and
currently.
then we can donate fruit and good stuff to the people that.
Well,
that are
that we've done it anyway, and hopefully we're going to continue doing that. And so I want to hear from Jackie because there was something Jackie wanted to say. But I'm reminded when I'm listening to Jennifer talk of a quote. Someone once said this, I think, about medications. A holistic guy said this. He said, if we threw out all the, and I'm going to replace medications with candy.
Cool.
If we threw out all the candy into the ocean, it would be better for people and worse for the fish.
true.
So throwing it out is not necessarily a bad idea. But there is that understanding that it is wasteful and some people can't get beyond that. Jack, what were you going to say?
So there's a couple of facts here. So I did weigh what we had left over, and I
How
had
much?
14 pounds of candy.
14 pounds of candy. Okay.
Just in this. This does not include the bags of potato chips and pretzels that were handed out.
That's like 14 pounds of behind, ultimately.
Yeah, well,
Right?
that's
It would be more.
when I said to you that I was going to weigh it. So I looked up a couple of facts, and this is kind of just for perspective for people. So it's not just about, and I'll tell you from a parent perspective also when I'm finished, but kids consume and I'm saying kids, okay? So I'm using this terminology for children because as adults, we should be making the better decision. And I'll be honest with you, I did take a couple of handfuls random here and there, and I was regretting it yesterday. I didn't touch anything yesterday. And I told Jem this the same thing. My kids, Sunday's almost like a free-for-all. I did allow them to eat and enjoy. They instantly regretted it yesterday when they said that Mom, I never want to touch it again because they just don't do well. It's not something they eat on a regular basis. And Corinne could attest to this. My household, I'm like, I always say, I have snacks. And they're like, you don't have snacks because they're not the snacks kids want except for my children. They're like, everything is
cauliflower, potato chip.
Jack, circle back. You were making a point before you.
Listen, but this is what I'm getting to. So kids consume up to 7,000 calories on Halloween, and that's the same as 13 Big Macs. 13 Big Macs. Now that's two perspectives of food, what people consider a food, right? The average trick-or-treater consumes about 3 cups of sugar, equivalent to 220 sugar packets. Kids would need to trick-or-treat for 180 miles, equivalent to 60 hours to burn off what they've eaten. And then $2.8 billion are spent on candy.
Wow. So these are some interesting factoids. I'm thinking the candy companies are really behind Halloween, ultimately.
Yeah.
But let me take this in a slightly different direction. You know, before the pandemic started and everything was shut down, actually a month before, I took a trip out to California. And I was going to visit a friend of mine, kind of my mentor, a gentleman named Gary. And before I went, I was thinking, I can't go there empty-handed. So I stopped off at a pastry shop and I got a bunch of pastries.
Yeah.
And we sat around and we had the pastries and coffee, and it was really nice. But I can't imagine, I can't imagine bringing something else, bringing a fruit plate or something like that. But there's just something about that tradition. You bring sweets when you're going someplace. We've always viewed it as a good thing to do.
It's a term of endearment.
Exactly. It's a way to show affection.
Mm-hmm.
So how do we get beyond that particular conflict? I mean, we've only been doing that for hundreds of years.
Well, are you going around?
Yeah, go ahead, Jack.
I think that, one thing, if I'm ever going somewhere, I always ask, of course, and a majority of the people that we're going to, please don't bring anything, bring yourselves.
Yeah, that's why you shouldn't ask.
Yeah, I should never ask. But I always try to opt. I mean, obviously, dessert always just seems to be easier because why not? But it always ends up being where there's almost enough of a dessert platter per person than there is food.
Oh, sure. So, especially for something like Thanksgiving. I mean, you're just putting it on the pile of other pies.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's like pie. Everybody, you get a pie. You get a pie. Yeah. Everyone gets a pie. But it's just, it really becomes in excess. So it's almost like I definitely reach out. Like if it's my sister-in-laws, my family, my close friends, like if we're going over, like what can I bring to help? What are you making? I'll bring food. I always try to say.
So what do you hear generally?
No, nothing. Just bring dessert.
Okay. What do you do?
I opt for dessert. Depends on what it is. And for the most part.
So you bring dessert. You bring the pastry.
But I try to always bring something that's like allergy friendly, so it tends to be on the slightly healthier side.
Yeah. Okay. So it's slightly less poison.
It's less poison than the
Corinne, I want to
poison.
know what do you do? How do you overcome that conflict, or do you?
Honestly, I'm bad, and I'll be the first to tell you that we don't overcome it.
You bring pastries.
I do.
Okay, no matter what, no matter whose house you're going to, no matter what.
I don't show up. I always bring something, and it's full of sugar all the time.
Got it. And sometimes I'm going to assume that you've brought those sugary pastries to people's homes, and you wouldn't even partake of it. You weren't eating sugar at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that odd? So we're willing to give to people things that we won't ingest ourselves.
Yeah, sure.
Thea, what do you do? Do you bring vegan treats?
Not really. I'll ask what the person needs wherever I'm going, or I'll just bring maybe a fruit bowl sometimes, or sometimes I do bring sweets. I don't eat it, but I bring it to them. So it's like, yeah.
And then lastly, Jen?
So, oh God, you're going to send me to the corner of the room for this. I've become famous for my salads. So I make a tossed salad.
You make a tossed salad and you bring that with you. And you say, here, you present it to them.
I do.
You say, here.
So, yes, because, yes. That's why I was trying to go in the corner to not be asked. But yeah.
Do you ever get the sense that people are whispering about you behind your back?
I think my paranoid genes were left behind because I bring the salad no matter what. No, seriously. I was asked once to bring a salad and I made this salad. It had olives and all these. It wasn't just a salad. So that has
big
become
salad.
A thing. It was a big salad.
Big salad.
Well, let me ask you this: how do people respond when you bring a salad? Do they appreciate it?
I love it. Okay. And you know what? Part of it stemmed from I'm a big vegetable eater, and when I go to functions, one of the things that I noticed early on was that people don't provide vegetables, and my body doesn't like. I went to my aunt's house the other day, my uncle's 80th birthday, and there was no salad. I didn't bring anything. I showed up. Well, actually, I take it back. I sent a tray of baked ziti because that's what I was asked to make. And I had some. And Jackie and I talked about this yesterday. I didn't have candy, but oh my God, I felt as if it was candy. It was so gross yesterday. Mm-hmm. And so it wasn't happy making for me because there were no vegetables.
I sometimes will bring over several pounds of raw beef. 5 pounds of ground chuck. Yeah, here you go. Make a meatloaf.
I was thinking several pounds of I don't know what, and I gagged on my coffee. Thank you.
I
was thinking something
else. Yeah.
What is that?
Jennifer's phone.
That's my phone at 8:00 in the morning. It's through my laptop. I can't shut it down, or you guys won't be.
You don't get I know. I get all the notifications on mine.
Well, listen, getting back on topic. The point is that it's so ingrained in us. It's so ingrained in our culture. First of all, we know that you can't show up anywhere empty-handed.
No.
Certainly, if you're going to show up somewhere, unless you have, big, whats, and big enough to bring a salad, you're going to be tempted to bring something like pastries or wine is a very common thing as well, right? What else, for the most part, what else do people bring besides pastries or
bread?
Wine?
Yeah,
bread, right? Yeah, but it's in the same family as the pastries.
Yeah.
So what's the ultimate solution? I mean, should we all now? I have to mute you, Jen. Should we all now resolve to not do that anymore?
No.
Why not?
So I think, things have changed over the years, and I just think that there are certain traditions, certain, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but in terms of being respectful and manners, and someone's opening their home to you, or whether it be events or holidays, you should not come empty-handed, regardless of what you're bringing. Right. But I really do think what we have to instill.
Well, why not bring a plant?
What?
Why not bring a plant?
It's fine. It's absolutely, that's fine. But I feel like if you're coming, for example, for a holiday, holidays for us are very big. We have a large family, and does it have to be food per person? No, fine. You want to bring my mom always brings me flowers. My mother-in-law brings me flowers. It's very thoughtful and it's so appreciated regardless. But I just think that common courtesy, it's just very respectful. But I think we have to instill self-control, truthfully. I think it's not like we're going to eliminate these foods indefinitely. I would love it if we could solve the fact that people are going hungry and not give them candy for breakfast. But I don't think that's the answer, to just not do it. I think it has to be self-control.
So we still don't know where we are regarding helping people with their Halloween candy, which, by the way, might be mostly gone by now. We still haven't resolved whether we should have people bring in all the candy to us and then we should send it to the troops, for example, which is a nice gesture on the one hand, and on the other hand, imperiling their health. We haven't figured that out. Yes, Jay.
So there's two things. So now on the flip side, they have the treats for troops, because again, Halloween is a celebrated holiday, regardless of most people celebrate it, right? It's just a kind of a fun, eventful, stress-free holiday.
Right.
Is it healthy? No, but I haven't come across a house that doesn't hand out something other than candy treats. We do, like regular toys, like trinkets, something like that. One of my neighbors did coloring books for kids.
I like that.
Handing out fruit.
Can't do that.
You can't, but I'm saying.
Jen, did you hand out? What did you hand out?
Who?
You.
I did candy. I did. Yeah, but in the past, it's funny. I used to do Pirate's Booty and Fruit Leather. And then I had somebody else take over the shopping. And this year I just bought candy. I was like, I can't do this.
I handed out jalapenos.
What?
I handed out jalapenos. I wanted to give the kids the message. I wanted to make sure that they understood.
Help them clear out after the candy.
Getting back to this idea of sending candy to the troops, it's really a lovely gesture.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so thoughtful on the one hand.
Agreed.
Is it not? I feel like we have to do something now, and maybe that, and maybe something else, but just for the troops.
I'm okay with that.
All right, let's figure that out.
Are we doing a reading today? A quick read?
No, we're not going to do it today. We don't want to do it every week because we're spoiling people.
Got you. The reason I wanted to was because there's. Can I just read like one little paragraph from one little?
Does it say something about sending candy to the troops?
It talks about eating properly.
Okay, good. Go ahead.
Yeah. So it's take care of yourself, and it's eat properly. So people.
What book is this from?
Oh, this is from The Way to Happiness.
Got it.
So people who do not eat properly are not of much help to you or themselves. They tend to have a low energy level. They are sometimes ill-tempered. They become ill more easily. It doesn't require strange diets to eat properly, but it does require that one eats nourishing food regularly. So it's kind of appropriate. And then there's a tract in here that I read, but it's apropos for the day, and it talks about in the way to happiness. Support a government designed to run for all the people. So in favor of Election Day, or in honor of Election Day, if someone wants to
look at that wisdom for Election Day as well.
Coming full circle here.
If somebody wants to read that, they can. In the Way to Happiness, it is.
Listen, as simple as it was what you read about food, it comes down to eating actual food. And Jennifer has proposed that candy is not food. And I think if we looked at it strictly and we define the terms, food comes from the Old English word fodor, I think, something like that. And ultimately it means nourishment. Right. It's that which nourishes the body. Well, if you're eating something that's not nourishing your body, it's not in fact food. As odd as that sounds, just because it's ingestible doesn't make it food. So right? Ask Thea, you could ask your dog about that.
Oh God. So there's a great quote that I use all the time. It's Michael Pollan. Eat food, not too much food, mostly plants.
Right.
That doesn't, he's not a proponent or he's not. What's the word I'm looking for?
He's not proposing a plant-based diet. He's not a vegan. He's just saying,
correct.
Right, eat food, plants.
Real food.
Yeah,
that's really the answer. So,
well, that's a good place to end off. If you're going to watch this later, I would love to hear your take on it. I think you can understand the conflict that we've had here the last couple of days, and we may continue to have as we go forward. Don't forget, right now, we're experiencing a candy holiday. We just got over that. And then the next holiday is a food coma holiday.
Holiday.
Then the one after, right? And then the one after that is also a food coma holiday, followed by an alcohol holiday.
And then
So this is a very treacherous time of year.
And then it's followed by sugar again.
Easter.
No, Valentine's.
Well,
Valentine's Day.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, there's another sugar candy
Yeah.
holiday, right?
It's again,
So-
everything circulates by.
Not me, because I'm bringing my darling 5 pounds of raw chuck.
Salad. So it's, you know, it's not a, it's, there's a quote that it's not flu season. It's just what you said. It's
Right.
a candy holiday followed by followed by and that's what gets people sick. It's, and actually detoxing from these things is why we show symptoms of sickness. Sickness in and of itself is not bad. It's actually a good thing because it's the body pushing out the
Well,
toxins.
listen, that's a whole other subject, and let's take that up next week because that might be confusing for people. What
handle it next
symptoms
week.
actually are. So we'll discuss that next week. But in the meantime, like I said, like, comment, and share. I think this is very important content. It's good to talk about. I personally am okay with throwing out bad food. I'll usually have a handful first, and then I'll throw it out in the garbage because I'd rather do that than eat it all. But everyone has to have their own strategies. All right. So, staff, say goodbye.
Bye.
Be well.
Bye.